How's it going, people? It is Liam Catterson here with another episode of Lucifer as we journey towards the end, not just in terms of these reactions, of course, with 3 episodes left remaining, but seemingly within the show as well, because we had Ella, who was under the influence in the last episode, revealing to everyone not just the fact that she knows, she knows, she's aware, but also she has been collecting information regarding signs of the end of days, and to the surprise of everyone, she has basically said the end is nigh. And as I said, I feel like that's in conjunction with Lucifer putting off being God. So these next few episodes are going to be quite tantalizing, and it's going to be quite the end that we're going to reach with the end seemingly being nigh, and Lucifer, of course, inevitably going to take up being God. So that's surely got to happen. But also he's got to patch things up with Rory, because there was a bit of a diver in their relationship. Things seemingly were on the up, and then Rory felt a bit let down at the celebration of May's and Eve's wedding. So yeah, there is quite a lot on Lucy's plate at the minute, especially with this startling information about the end of days being nigh. So yeah, but it will be very, very exciting to and sad as well to close the book of Lucifer, I guess, because I've just finished watching Buffy, so I'm going to be concluding another show that I really love. Wouldn't say as much as Buffy, but it has been a show that I am glad that I've gotten the opportunity to react to. So, but like I said, the signs of what seemingly we're going to close out on is looking to be a very, very interesting final few episodes. So yeah, it's going to be pretty exciting stuff. So with that said, let's get into this episode of Lucifer with episode 8 of season 6. Let's go.
The whole Angel War was fought to win Lucifer that seat. Remiel died for it. Chloe died
you
for
can't
it.
let...
You what now? We still have some things we need to explain.
You can't let those deaths and that
Long
sacrifice
and
go in
painful
vain,
road
really.
for all of us. But the
Now the
time
world's
has
coming to
come
an
for Lucifer to ascend the throne.
I don't want to pop out.
Maybe they're a bit shy with Ella
Give me some room. I'll
being
give it a
there.
jump start. Give me some room.
Okay.
Oh no.
Lucifer.
Come.
Get it.
Oh wow, what a flex, Amenadel. There's a kind of Superman-esqueness with Ella watching this for the first time.
About you.
Well,
Quite honourable though, isn't it?
this is marvelous. I mean, Western literature has portrayed me in a terrible light for centuries, starting with that perennial bestseller that need not be named. Thanks for nothing, Gutenberg.
Yeah, well, it's just a first draft.
Humans can't see him.
Oh, well, maybe your problem is that you are constantly keeping secrets from people who care about you.
Maze, give Ella a message for me.
No.
Just...
No, I did not traipse over here on the wedding
It does
night
feel unorthodox
to
with
be able
Dad
to
being
go
there,
back.
and there's
Look,
this
guys,
acceptance with
Everybody's
Chloe,
name is on this
Linda,
page, so
and
this
now
might be a
Ella.
good place to start.
You're welcome.
2 for 1 bounties. Kudos.
2.5.
Oh!
Relax, dude.
Another head!
He's like that when it happened.
Dan, is something missing from the evidence bag? That makes me think. I just solved another murder.
How do you do it, Detective? You're so smart and beautiful and perfect, and we are the best partnership ever, aren't we?
Yes.
Oh, that reminds me. There's something important.
Look, but I can't wait to dig in.
Oh, neither can I.
It's so comedical, though. Not gonna lie.
Doctor, I am beginning to suspect you should have done a bit more editing before sharing your manuscript with others.
You think?
I mean, she did say pre-first draft.
We have to do something.
We can't kill him.
You're right, Maze. We can't.
Oh my goodness. Oh, this over-exaggerated version of these characters is so good.
Hey, but don't worry. I can fix it.
You can?
Hello, yeah. I'm a demon. I mean, I'm basically a walking guilt detector. Cheer up, dude. I'm gonna torture your ass right into heaven.
Oh, that sounds sweet in Maze's
Charlotte Richards was a goddess?
dynamic.
I mean, we may not have spelled it out to you, but we were all there with you every step of the way. Every step of the way.
You can sense he has that sorrow in his
What a great
gut.
friend you've been to us Celestials over the years. Chilling with the angel of death before you even met the rest of us. Well, you and Azrael are practically BFFs.
Oh.
What?
Don't go.
Goodbye.
Departed from Chloe.
Have you seen Lucifer?
No.
Sorry. Where is he? You're on your deathbed, and he's not there. He's never there.
Oh, it's all about Chloe. Leaving her.
Hearts because of all your sad bullshit.
Actually, my parents are super proud of me and super alive. They're actually sponsoring an improv troupe in my honor. The Danimal Crackers.
Oh my goodness.
What about siblings?
I'm an only child, Maze. Honestly, how do you not know this stuff?
Dan says you are the inner circle.
Oh, Dan. Oh.
If you guys really trusted me, you would have told me the truth.
There is this irony about humanity not handling revelations well, and if she's not handling this situation well because of the fact that no one told her.
Your subconscious might choose not to stay.
No.
It's that inner
No,
voice.
I'm sorry, but I don't accept that. I've changed. I've grown. I mean, it's all in here, isn't it? It's...
Oh, this hurts.
What is it?
There's something wrong with this book.
Now, when the book is published.
Well, Lucifer, she's gonna publish this? My parents are gonna see this.
Shut up, Daniel. This is not about you, it's about me. You held back the end of the book because you think I'll fail, don't you? My own therapist doesn't
What a
actually
kick
believe
in the
that I'll become
balls.
God.
Or you can dig in and sniff that shit out like a demon.
She's trying so hard. I love Maze.
No, I understand. I mean, it's who you are, isn't it?
The detective.
My detective. I could never be upset with you about that.
It's a core
That's
essence of
worth it, isn't
her.
you?
I have them because of something you did right. I mean, all my life, I
Quells that
watched you
guilt.
stand up for justice. I love these badass wings because they remind me of the person I admire most.
Oh.
Really? Really.
That gives her that boost.
Wings are like
You've wanted to hurt me ever since you got here, so now's your chance. Pull that trigger. Come on. Go on, shoot me.
Vulnerability?
it worked.
Of course it worked. You're my daughter.
He loves you. Like,
love you.
that's never been in doubt.
You asked for it.
She's just got the
well,
wrong
here it is.
idea of it. Oh,
Lucifer. Are you bleeding?
Yes, I am. But don't worry about that. Greatest therapist the world has ever known, Dr. Linda Martin, MD, PSYD,
This part of the script.
PhD,
Literally.
MA, MPhil, Master in Science, Master in Technology, Master of the Universe. This is
I had a feeling.
preposterous. I mean, socks with sandals.
What? Your dad wore them.
But Linda, is this what you really think happens?
Your conscious and subconscious mind are finally acting in concert. Do you know what this means?
That I no longer have to let my wings choose whether or not I'm going to be God.
It's all in there. Your mind feels it, and here, voila.
Reading this, I get to see things from the other side.
She only knew half a story. Now she knows the full, right?
If you're up there, all I ask is that you protect Chloe.
Oh, the love I found. What do I do with this smile trapped in my mouth?
If you can listen carefully, you can hear my heart just weeping in joy, just absorbing all of this.
Feels the exact same way about you.
Yeah, I think I do.
The emotional progress you're all making here is really so beautiful. But it almost makes me forget about the whole end of the world situation.
Oh,
Just
right,
naff
that.
off.
Our relationship, so you don't have to worry about that. We're good. Listen.
In before he has a conspiracy board as well for shits and giggles.
Little detail about someone as long as you already know their heart.
Beautiful advice there.
Right.
Dr. Linda Martin, PHY,
I was
and all
gonna
those
say, is he
things.
gonna say the same thing in the thing? Oh.
In our time together, you managed to do something not even God Almighty was able to accomplish. You've made me a better man.
If this cog had a system, you'd be a central piece, Linda.
Thank you.
I know why the world is ending. We need to talk.
Something about needing a god? Ah, yes. I mean, this is the, like, it's all going back to what I was saying in the last episode. I think it's more so to do with the fact that Lucifer's ascension to God has to be priority. And you have him in this position saying, I am choosing not to be God. Like, yeah, I have that, I do have that decision in mind that I can be God or I can not be God, and I'm choosing not to. But I think it's all going to come boiling down to the idea that this isn't a thing you have to choose. It's either this or the world, and it's going to be a sacrifice, I sadly feel. So, and I think sacrifice is a very, like, it's very poignant because, of course, that was a very big establishment in terms of Lucifer's dynamic with Chloe. Like, he's always been there to, you know, protect Chloe by any means of, by any kind of sacrifice, etc. Like, he went to hell. He's done everything in terms of protecting Chloe, and now it's the world that needs saving. So can't win them all, sadly, Lucifer. So yeah, but man, I thought that was a pretty great episode. It was really incredible, especially focusing on Ella's emotions as well, with the realization about, okay, well, so and so is this person and that, just seeing the irony, of course, about how other humans have handled it badly with that revelation, and how Ella's handling it badly with no revelation coming to mind, and her just realizing everything because things have been kept from her. So, yeah, I am glad that not only are we dealing with this predicament with Lucifer, but also Ella as well. So, yeah. So, yeah, I feel like with things seemingly being on a relaxed ending, with Lucifer deciding, you know what, God, not for me. It's going to just be a heartbreaking realization that Lucifer has to ascend to heaven. So what information that Amenadel will have on offer will be very interesting, but I think it's all going to be deduced down to the idea that Lucifer needs to be God. I mean, it would be really, really great if Amenadel could take the reins, but he also is deciding to nope out of being God. So, especially with Charlie, especially with his connectivity to humanity, especially with him trying to make, I guess, the precinct a better place with his and Chloe with her returning with his efforts. It's yeah, it would be a very, very good replacement, Amenadel being God in an idealistic world, I guess, for Lucifer. But I think this is what he has to do in order for the world to be, I guess, restored and, you know, not come crashing down, etc. So yeah, but yeah, it was really interesting to have this idea. Obviously, with the end approaching, we were examining Lucifer in order for his wings to appear, in order for him to feel ready to become God. And then once we had that moment of clarity, once his conscious and subconscious acted in tandem, I guess, there was that realization with everything that he has going on that I don't think being God is a thing for me, especially with the fact that he keeps uttering to himself that he obviously chooses not to abandon Chloe, chooses not to abandon Rory. So, but sadly, I feel like there's going to have to be a heartbreaking realization that this is a thing that needs to happen. So, yeah, but I really loved, though, like how instead of your typical crime of the week, we had you know, this detective work, I guess, this figuring out journey that we usually have every week was more so about Lucifer and trying, well, not just Lucifer and trying to crack down his scenario, but also with Dan and Maze as well, with Dan trying to figure out what his guilt is from, you know, what is blocking him from ascending to heaven. And I do feel like Trixie's going to play a very integral role, especially if it correlates to his death. There is that fear of guilt about I failed Trixie, I failed by abandoning her, if that makes sense. Especially if you know, this figuring out shtick correlates with Lucifer. There is that abandonment because obviously we know that Rory has been feeling the brunt of that, with Lucifer feeling like he abandoned her. And there can be that kind of relation for Dan, if that makes sense. Whereas obviously Trixie wouldn't think that. Dan will think that, okay, I feel like I've abandoned Trixie. I feel like I've there is going to be that guilt. So yeah, but I gotta say, I gotta commend Maze for helping Dan out, because you know, they always have a very, very great bond, and there is that protective layer that Maze has for Dan. And obviously we saw how distraught she was when Dan died. But I gotta say, I really loved them revisiting the Russian mob bit, with, of course, Lucifer's offerings, like of his interpretation of these characters to Linda's writing, and seeing how Dan would portray himself in that scenario. Then Maze was like, no, this is how it goes. So, and I gotta say, the you know, the descriptions of everyone that we know and love was just really, really funny, especially when Lucifer took center stage and, you know, said what he thought about these characters to Linda. Obviously, Linda wrote up the draft and whatnot, which, you know, she did kind of remind everyone and whatnot. And I feel like with her keep her repeatedly saying that plays a part on her feeling like she failed, which we'll get more into that in a bit. But I still loved the description from what Lucifer offered to Linda, like seeing those flashes play out, especially the first bit, and just seeing, like I said, an over-exaggerated description, I guess, of these characters. So it was really, really, fun stuff. So yeah, I would say over-exaggerated in terms of, like, they weren't like what we know them to be, but this is Lucifer's, like, perception of these characters, and yeah, so like I said, I am really glad that there was that focus on Dan. Like, there was a good amount of focus, I would say, for other areas rather than figuring out about Lucifer and whatnot. With Ella, of course, obviously we wanted to come into this episode with the fallout of Ella revealing to everyone, I know. So yeah, and I feel like there was a good amount of focus there, whilst not detracting from the pivotal issue with the world ending and Lucifer needing to become God, and why he's having performance anxieties, I guess. So yeah. So yeah, and it's so much to focus on, like with these final 2 episodes, sorting this end of the world shtick out. Like there is so much to focus on with these final 3 episodes. So yeah, I feel like the amount of focus for other characters to shine in this episode, as well as Rory as well. We need to get a bit of input there, but I feel like the amount of focus on the other character stories is really well balanced, in my opinion. So yeah, but I just really thought that the focus on Dan was great. And like I said, I feel like Trixie's going to be very integral, especially if it's a parallel to what Lucifer's going through with Rory. And and things are seemingly a lot more better with... and I feel like it's a great opportunity for Rory to feel that acceptance from Lucifer, especially since we are inevitably going to be portrayed with bad news, I guess, in terms of, okay, well, Lucifer, you've got no choice, really. You gotta be God. If you want to reject it, that's all well and good, but I don't think it's going to work like that, unless you want to see the world just plummet into chaos and dissent and whatnot, so, which obviously he wouldn't. So yeah, but I really loved the idea about Rory, like I said, with her finally having that acceptance with Lucifer, with the fact that he was able to self-actualize that vulnerability, of course, to just prove to Rory that he does love her. And it's really, really great, because she's now finally got that validation that Lucifer actually does care for her and would do anything. And obviously that was like I said, with his subconscious and conscious working in tandem, that was a big kind of wake-up call in terms of Lucifer and his wings and whatnot. But I really like the idea that not just was him choosing to be vulnerable was a great wake-up call in terms of Rory finally realizing that Lucifer does care for her, but also her glossing over the other side, because she got Chloe's interpretation of how much her father meant to Chloe, but now she finally saw Lucifer's point of view, and she finally saw the other side of things in terms of the dynamic with Dexter, which was a beautiful compilation, by the way. It was really, it kind of reminded me of the musical episode last year when we had a compilation of Dexter and, the greatest hits, although that was, really, really, really beautiful. This was as well as the fact that it, concreted, Rory's perception of Lucifer, like that changed perception that he really does care and all that. So I really, really thought that focusing on Rory and having a huge momentous push in terms of that dynamic. It was really, really great, especially now we've got a couple of episodes to go. And it was a really, really great move for Lucifer as well, because he knows that, this is going to be a big show proof, because nothing he can really do, like, he's been trying, that's the sad thing, he's been trying all this time to show Rory that he does care for her. So choosing to be vulnerable for Rory in the same manner that he chose to be vulnerable for Chloe is going to be concrete proof that, yeah, he wants to be, he wants to showcase that vulnerability. He wants to showcase that love, that he would do anything for the person that he loves the most. And like he did with Chloe, he is doing so with Rory. So, yeah. So I really, really like the idea that I've tried everything, and I know that I know I would never abandon Rory. I know I love Rory. So this is gonna, if this is gonna, like, nothing else has worked so far. This has been a very, very, this has obviously been proved to Chloe before, and I'm hoping it is for Rory, and voila. So, yeah, but, yeah, I really, really like the idea that there were some really, really nice moments for Rory in this episode, because it's not just the idea that she's finally found that acceptance from Lucifer, but also she had that revelation that she self-actualized because she had those wings portrayed the way it did because of Chloe, and not in a very, very bad sense, or like, obviously we know about Chloe dying, and that was a thing that pissed Rory off as well, with the fact that Lucifer wasn't there. But the wings were there not in a protective stance, but in a tribute stance, if that makes sense, because of that admiration she had for Chloe. So I really, really love that moment where she kind of revealed that this is because I love what you do. What you do is so inspiring in a sense, and it's a really, really great moment. So, yeah, it was really, really great to see Rory have that moment where she had that revelation, where she was like, no, there's nothing to worry about, because obviously Chloe was worried that, did I fail her, etc. And no, it was all about respect. It was a tribute to Chloe. So, yeah, it was some really nice moments with Rory, from her tributing her mother to her finally realizing that, yeah, my dad loves me. My dad would never do this to me. And, he cares a great deal about me. So, yeah, awesome stuff. But we also had a bit with Chloe as well, in terms of her going over what Lucifer wrote, and there was that perfection, I guess, attitude in a sense that Lucifer saw with Chloe. And I feel like that's, part of the course with Chloe, because even though she doubts, she of course doubts that perfection, like, nobody's perfect, aren't they? But, Lucifer knows she's got those flaws about her, but in his eyes, he cares for her so much. He's perfect to her. So, and it all goes back to when Chloe revealed to Lucifer that she's going back to the LAPD. And Lucifer didn't really bat an eye. He was like, what? I can't believe you've done this. But no, it wasn't anything in regards to... it wasn't anything in regards to Lucifer being mad with Chloe. He respected that, and that's because he knows, he knows Chloe as the detective. He's always dubbed her detective, and it's always been a thing with them two. So yeah, this is something that she wants to do, and Lucifer respects that. So it's really, really great stuff to see that. So yeah, but there was a nice moment of clarity as well, because Chloe obviously had that flashback to every time that Lucifer has kind of left, every time they made a bit of a breakthrough, and there is that worry that this is going to have history's going to repeat itself in a sense. So yeah, but Lucifer wants to be there. Like I said, every time he has said that he chooses Chloe, he chooses Rory, he means that. There's been never a doubt in my mind that that Lucifer wants to, stick around and whatnot. And I feel like recent development, not just with Dexter, but with Rory as well. And the fact that he would, I feel like with this episode, him choosing his, who he would consider family over being God, that's I guess so, that's a breakthrough itself in terms of Lucifer. He wants to choose his family. He would fight to, I feel like he would if there was no force behind this, because I feel like with the next episode it's going to be a matter of, okay, you've got no choice, you've got to become God, and he would, no hesitation, he would choose Chloe, Rory, he would choose sticking around. So, but like I said, sadly, I feel like it's going to be a heartbreaking fact that this is something he has to do, ascend to be God. So, it was really, really good to have that moment with Lucifer and Chloe, with him trying to, I guess, subdue her worries and whatnot in terms of, you've done this before, as well as the fact that Lucifer knows, Chloe might be portrayed perfectly in the book from his wording, but that speaks from the heart. So, and it shows how much he does love her. So, yeah, she might have her flaws, but in his heart, she's perfect for him. So, yeah. Like I said, I'm really glad that we got a bit of Ella as well, with her finding out, in regards to, obviously everyone being devil, celestial, etc., but also about how mad she is that people have kept this from her. And then, of course, she realized that her best friend Ray Ray was Azrael. So which wasn't really exactly helping matters with Lucifer trying to confide to her. But I really liked how Carol was the catalyst in terms of Ella's realizing that you don't need to really know everything about someone. You just to have that faith in them, to have that I guess trust. You just have to know their heart, really. And with all this time with Ella, she has been a part of that inner circle. Yes, there is that irony, of course, that she is handling this in a very, very heartbreaking manner by not being included in the whole celestial gig, compared to when Linda found out when Chloe, it was a bit of a big deal, of course. And obviously, Lucifer and co, they have their flaws in terms of not telling her, especially with her being, the biggest God supporter and whatnot. I do kind of wish we kind of got a realization, we did in some small doses, but I was expecting things to be a bit more things to be a bit more expanded, I guess, in terms of a reaction with Ella finding out about the fact that she hugged God. So yeah, but I don't know why. I thought, given the fact that her faith with God has been mentioned a plethora of times, I thought there would be a bigger reaction for some reason. I don't know, but you can understand why Ella feels hurt, and there is that loss. Dan said she's always been a part of the inner circle, but she doesn't feel that way. She just feels like she can't trust anyone and whatnot. But they do love her. They do have that trust in her. They still include her in that inner circle. There's never been a doubt that she has been part of the inner circle. She's always been that person. But obviously with Ella, she's just feeling so lost, and with everything that they're saying, she doesn't know if she can buy it, really. So, but like I said, it's great that Carol was the catalyst in terms of Ella finding some clarity and taking some small steps from here onwards, because of the fact that she has known these people for like, despite the fact that yes, they you've just found out that they are like your Fred Lucifer, he is the devil, etc. She knows from her interactions for these past few years that their hearts speaks volumes, and the fact that you really do love connecting with them. So, and obviously this is a bit of a big deal. So, yeah, but they do have their reasons, and you know, it might have been a bit messed up that they didn't say anything and whatnot, but at the end of the day, they do love her, and I think they wanted to preserve that in some semblance. So just it was a bit messy, wasn't it? And Ella, you know, you can't blame her for being hurt, but like I said, I feel like from what she taking the celestial side of things out of the equation, from what she knew about the personality of Lucifer from Amenadel, she know that you know, they are likable, they are trustable, and trusting, I guess. So yeah, but yeah, and I really loved that last bit with Linda and Lucifer. Obviously, like I said, Linda was beating herself up in this episode with the fact that people were reading her first draft, and she even comprised of a fake ending. And yeah, I just like that exchange with Lucifer and Linda, because like I said, I wasn't joking when I said about the fact that she is an important cog in this system, because she is. Lucifer even said it himself about how he has learnt a lot with his sessions with Linda. And it's just really, really, you know, beautiful to have them to just have that moment, and for Lucifer to pay tribute to Linda for all the efforts she's done. Because Lucifer, like, yeah, you might have those moments where, like, I don't know how many times it's been, but Lucifer has kind of twisted Linda's advice, and Linda's just been like, well, that was expected. But Lucifer is honest when he says that he has changed, he has been changed because of her, and she has been a very, very influential life, part of his life for the greater good. And it's really, really great for Lucifer to give Linda that little bit of a push, considering the fact that she was beating herself up. She even wrote, like I said, she wrote a fake ending because of that, because of the fact that she, you know, didn't want to feel that disappointment, really. So yeah, it was really, really great to have that moment. And like I said, it's like a nice little tribute. So yeah, but you know, you felt bad for Linda, because obviously she's been so connected to the celestial side of things, and this is a lot of work she's put into it. And obviously she was the first person to know about Lucifer, and she just wants this to be perfect, and she just feels that lack of confidence. But Lucifer being a very, very supportive pillar, in my opinion. So yeah, it was a really, really great episode, and I'm excited to see how things are going to pan out, because it's going to be emotional, especially when it comes to Rory and Chloe finding out that Lucifer's inevitably... I mean, I could be wrong, but I just feel like with Lucifer saying, you know what, I don't need to be God. No, I'm liking my family here, thank you very much. You just feel that Amenadel's arrived with some not so good news for Lucifer in terms of his long-term planning for the future, so he might want to amend that. So yeah, but yeah, it was a superb episode, and yeah, not nervous for the final 2 episodes whatsoever. But yeah, I will see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. You can check the videos on the right if you want to check out more of my content. You can also subscribe to my media feeds and channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Hope you guys take care. I will see you guys next time. Toodles!